So, it was Independence Day yesterday, July 4th, Independence Day. When we Americans celebrate our independence from England. That does not sound like, it's a little like celebrating your independence from your dentist, you know? Okay, fine, but you're still celebrating 240 years later. That's a bit odd, isn't it? Celebrating your separation for 240 years? I think if I was still celebrating my divorce 240 years later, people might think I was a bit obsessed. And dead. But we keep doing it, don't we? Some of us eat too much, while some of us get sunburned. Some of us, usually our politicians and our soon-to-be politicians, puff out our chests and talk about how great America is. Some of us just like to blow shit up, you know? And then there are hundreds of millions of people somewhere in the middle, just enjoying the chance to relax and not have to work. Finally. Sure, there's Memorial Day, but that's over a month back sometimes, and the next day off most people will get isn't until way out in September. But in the midst of the food and the noise, and the parties, and the smoke, and the gatherings, and the maimed extremities, what the hell is all of this about anyway? Why do we celebrate Independence Day anyway? If you think it's just for a chance to blow shit up, I've got some news for you. In most inner cities and third world countries, especially if you're the U.S. military, you can do that most any evening you like. The fact is, fireworks were invented thousands of years ago. Thousands. Aren't we done with them yet? They're yesterday's news. And I know that because I've seen better firework displays in video games. Fireworks are wasteful, they're dirty, and they're incredibly silly if you think about it. I'll show you, England. We'll celebrate our independence from you by launching a lot of explosives that the Chinese found moderately amusing in the 7th century. Surely that can't be why we celebrate Independence Day. And it certainly should not be how we do it anymore either. It's not about explosives any more than it's about England, or even independence. The world gets it by now. But surely, despite all of that, there must be some justifiable reason for this incredibly egotistic fiasco that poses as a reason to party. Is it because we're the best? We are the best, aren't we? America! USA! USA! SATURDAY! Night! Oh, wait, hold on. Despite everything politicians and Fox News have been telling you for decades, if not longer, we need to pause for just a minute and simply consider what that answer actually means. Think about it for a second. Why, we're celebrating our independence because we kick ass. Is that the argument? Should we then have a holiday because we wipe our ass? Please, tell me we don't need one. The idea of celebrating our own greatness sickens me. Besides, what's so great? Have we abolished poverty? Have we ended war? Have we even tried for more than 5 minutes to come up with some kind of reckoning with our past? With the way we have treated others, from the North American natives to the many different people we have bombed or exported sitcoms to? How about the way we've treated ourselves, the way we've treated our own? Pick a color other than white, and we've hated it. Pick an orientation in just about any direction, and we've ostracized it. Our society is not pure or holy or great in any way. In fact, we're all little better than dogs, and you know that because you say the very same thing or some derivative when you're driving on the freeway, or waiting in line, or having to share. Well, let's not get started on our ability as a nation to share any single thing. We'd be here all day. There's just one kind of greatness celebrated on Independence Day, and that always comes down to military greatness. The power of our Army, Navy, etc., and so forth, to exert its will, and by extension our will, towards making this world a bit more like we would like things to be. Which means that we only celebrate the greatness of a false security. The greatness of a lie we tell ourselves that nobody can beat us. Nobody can beat us. Nobody can beat us. We are a nation that needs a night light, and we should never celebrate that as a greatness. Okay then, what are we celebrating, you ask? Well, we absolutely should not celebrate any greatness, should certainly move on from our amusement with fireworks, and need to let go of this sick revisiting of our 240-year divorce from England. What then? What can we celebrate? Well, I'm going to tell you, because I sometimes think we like to forget. Independence Day is, you see, little more than our national opportunity to feel some pride in the good that we have done. Now, before you argue that that doesn't sound like very much, I would argue that it's more than enough. Think about it for a minute. Whenever we hear people talk about what makes them proud of being an American, it almost never comes down to our ability to cause others harm or blow anything up. Americans take pride in our ability to, on a very rare occasion, I grant you, get it absolutely right. We sent a person to the moon, for crying out loud. Of course we should be proud of that. We should be proud of Jonas Salk, an American scientist who defeated polio. And we should absolutely be proud of helping save the world from the terror of Nazism. Of course we should. But as we do that, we should never forget what a mess we made of fighting terrorism. We should be proud that we abolished slavery, but we must never forget how vehemently we embraced slavery. We should never forget the Vietnam War or our horrible environmental record. Hummers, the car, 1970s variety shows. I'm just saying we shouldn't forget that we made plenty of mistakes. We're not perfect. No, right now, we are not perfect. And our job, as it says in the preamble to the Constitution, you remember the preamble. Do you need to sing it? We the people, in order to form a more perfect union. Right, that's us. We are the people. And our job, not the government's job, and certainly not any politician's job, because you really can't trust those people any further than you can throw them. Have you tried throwing a senator? That shit will get you sent to jail. Anyway, it's our job to form that more perfect union. And we can only do that by remembering what a bunch of idiot morons we act like when we chant America, light off our fireworks, and dance to the funky soulful tunes of Ted Nugent. Then again, that could just be Fox News again. Anyway, it's just something to think about. And next year, when July 4th rolls around once again, maybe you don't buy the fireworks. I don't care if the money goes to the Boy Scouts. No Boy Scout has ever been cured through firework donations. I can promise you that. Just don't buy the fireworks. Go to a community event where they have the fireworks. The show's usually better than you can do, and if you can do better, get a life, man. And I say man because, well, you know. And maybe this inspires you to run for office because you want to make your neighborhood a better place. Or maybe you just open yourself up to the idea of being a better neighbor. You're free to help however you choose, just, choose. And I'll see you on Labor Day. Don't worry though, that's only, 2 months away. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to find out more about me, Ken LaSalle, click this link to head on over to my website at kenlasalle.com. You can find my books, audio recordings, including audiobooks, and much more right there, as well as on Amazon, Audible, iTunes, and a shelf in my mom's bedroom.